We've arrived. We're going to the beach. That's right. First day of spring, and that means a 100-mile, or actually maybe a more than 100-mile biking ride adventure. I'm going to take you along. Try not to get run over. And I'm going to take you along, and I'm going to show you the beautiful Northumberland coast here in the UK. This is the Tyne down here, and I'll show you what I fuel to keep me going for 100 miles, and I'll take you along and show you the sights. Should be quiet today, hopefully, but you never know, people might be out. Yeah. Let's get going. Is this the biggest crane you've ever seen? Is it? Fairly large, isn't it? Don't even know if you can see it. And this isn't the city, this isn't the middle of nowhere. Look at that. I have to apologise for some missed footage. I just witnessed there was two hares having a little fight. It's quite violent, but they're having a little boxing match, and I saw it, and then I stopped and got the camera out, and they saw me and ran away, so sorry about that. But to me that marks such a feeling of spring finally being here, arriving, or nature is just suddenly changing its behaviour into, for me, I think, this traditional idea of surviving another winter. People used to say, used to mark their age by how many winters they'd survived. So to me, it's this change in feeling. I don't know if it's the hormones, and I think all of us as well. So there's birds making nests and hares running around. So yeah, it feels like spring, which is, it's a nice feeling. Can you see my sheep friends over there enjoying themselves? I'll zoom in and see if you can see them. They got their hay. Where are they? Over there, sorry. They're all on top of that. But I'm out here in the wilds of Northumberland, and I thought I'd show you the wilds of the UK. When people say England's overcrowded and whatnot, I think, like in the media or wherever you see it, or people just say it, I think they're just talking from their world experience, which is probably London or in the south of the UK. If you come north, I probably shouldn't say this because everyone will suddenly shoot up here, but if you seeing this, and maybe you don't live in the UK, there's certain regions in the UK which, yeah, they have a large population. So London, the metropolitan area, greater areas, I think over 10 million. But right now, where I am, in the same area that London occupies, there's only a few 100,000 people here, and a lot of it looks like this. Amazing, stunning. But it's not the greatest example, but if you see here where there's like a drop off on my left, so there's like this big house here, the Bowland Hall, but there's a lot of big houses here in the country. There's like this drop off from where they would be. So I'll turn around so you can see on my left. Well, they call these things, if I'm right, you can correct me in the comments, a har, or a har, something like that. So it makes it give the effect that if you were standing over there and you're looking that way, it's the way I'm looking, it makes it look like it's going on the land that you own, goes on for a long time. So there's like these ditches here, and it just gives the effect. I don't know if that's the right word, something like a har, but I don't know if that's right. It just makes it look like your land's bigger. I think it just gives the effect to make it look like the land you own is bigger, and the view they can see is amazing. Yeah, I could be wrong, but there's a better examples, but I thought I'd show you. You can see here, it's still here, and this road goes along the edge of this big house, and there's like, it's got its own church here, Golem church and everything. So as you can see, all the land here was owned by a big house. Can you see them? Where do you think their office is today? Up there in the sky. Up there. Jetting off around the world. Woo. I'd rather be riding my bike right now in the beautiful weather of the UK. So I've just had to come across this major road, busy road, fortunately to get to the beach, to the sea. There's a main road that goes up to the UK for a long way, and yeah, it's difficult for a bike, but I survived. But anyway, you'll be wondering, you probably came for how am I going to fuel 100 miles? Well, like and subscribe, because that's about to come up, and you'll be able to do 100 miles easy, okay, on what I do. But that's coming up. But for now, I'll show you what I've got in my bottles and what I'm eating. But for now, how much caffeine am I having to fuel such a long, hard ride? Well, 0. No coffee this morning, and I don't recommend it. I don't recommend stimulants. I recommend good nutrition. I think stimulants are just filling the hole of poor nutrition. And once you fix your fueling, you'll realise you don't need drugs to perform. And that might seem like a crazy thing to say, drugs. Well, caffeine is a drug. That's why it makes you feel the way you do. I don't know if you can see behind me, but just down there, woo, just down there, that's the ocean. Along here, this is the sea. There's not too much wind today, and you can see the wind's catching back from the wheels still a bit here, so I'll try not to fall off. We're just down here. We've got these wind turbines, but they're not turning too much today because it's not too bad windy. But it's about 15 degrees today, light wind, and just I like to make these videos educational as well as entertaining. So first off, I've got a bike mirror, you can see it here, so I checked that to see if there's anyone behind me. So I have, what am I wearing for 15 degrees? Well, I've got this long sleeve top from Castelli. It's quite thin and it's great for this sort of temperature, so you don't overheat, and it's a full length zip. I don't have a hat on. I couldn't remember if I had a hat on, so I don't have a hat. I think it's warm enough. I've got short fingered gloves. I recommend always wearing gloves because when you fall over and you wheel, just like in life, you go like that to save yourself. So always gloves, just shorts as well. First day of, well, not first day, one of the first days of just shorts today. And for my shoes, I've got some neoprene toe warmers, just to save my toes from getting cold. And then just a thin pair of socks, and then just as a backup, I have a gilet. I just have a gilet, and I have that in my pocket. And I think I'm okay for leg warmers. I mean, that can be up to you if you want to take leg warmers as well, about 15 degrees. But just, yeah, you can take them, put them in your back pocket. So yeah, I think that's how you should dress for about 15 degrees. I think for me personally, I would say a short sleeve top would be about 16 or 17 really. Maybe some arm warmers as well. But yeah, we're almost there. I think about half an hour or so to go, and I'll see you by the sea, the ocean. I haven't brought a towel with me, so we're not going swimming. Now if you're wondering, what bike am I using? Well, it's a giant TCR. The frame is a 2024 TCR SL frame, and it's rim brake, Druridge mechanical. And yes, I'm using 25mm tires off-road, and it's a lot of fun. Look at that, 25mm at about 95 psi I think today. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, believe me. Well, here we are, we made it. Now, what have I been using to fuel such an adventure? Well, my bottles that I have here, I have 3 bottles, okay? So I've got 2 950ml bottles and then 1 550, and I'm using table sugar, okay, just regular table sugar. So I've got 200 grams in each of these, so that's 400 grams, and then I've got another 100 grams in this one, so that's 500 grams of sugar. And as I say, it's just regular table sugar, nothing crazy. Well, that might seem crazy to you. And then I've got some vegan gummy sweets, and this is a 200 gram bag, and I've had about half or a bit over. And then I've got some more gummy sweets, Leo Lions, vegan again. And if I consumed all of this today, that would be well over 600 grams. I'd be looking at probably 700 grams or so, a pheasant. About 700 grams or so of sugar. So that's, I'm probably planning to do about 6 hours or so today. So it'll be a bit over 100 miles or so. So I'm well over 100 grams of sugar an hour on average, and if you're having at least 100 grams an hour, in my opinion, in my experience, you'll never bonk or run out of energy. At least 100 grams an hour, and you'll never cramp, as long as you have enough water and enough sugar. It's not the salt, it's sugar and water. I've never bonked or cramped while doing this, fueling like this. And I suppose there'll be other videos going into maybe a bit more in-depth, sort of the science behind why table sugar is the fuel that you want. So essentially I'm talking about sucrose. The white table sugar you see is sucrose. So that's glucose and fructose in a 50-50 mix. So, and this sweets that I have here, sometimes you might see, so it says sugar, glucose syrup, yeah. So you might see on some of these high fructose corn syrup, and I see a lot of nutritionists and whatnot, they're confused and they're advising, well, you shouldn't have sugar, or you should have sugar, and high fructose corn syrup causes people's digestive systems to not work properly. And so there'll be more video explaining the confusion around that. But my main point is that if you fuel like this, and as you can see, I made it here, and I've done so far about coming up to, I think, 40 miles. I've done 77 kilometers so far, so coming up to 50 miles, and I'm feeling good still. I don't feel particularly tired, and I'm not a professional cyclist, and I've averaged around 200 watts, and yeah, I'm feeling good. So like and subscribe, and just like me, you'll never bonk again, okay? You'll never bonk again, and you'll be able to enjoy yourself on adventures like I'm doing today. Just get the angle right. Isn't this beautiful? So nature has come out today because of, like clockwork. It's like clockwork, isn't it? Spring. Nature suddenly appears, and all the birds are out making nests. They're flying with like twigs in their mouths. If you're wondering what they're doing, they're making nests. It's like the dove with the olive branch for peace. That's what springtime represents to me. Peace. Because you've made it through the winter, survived another winter, and now life is growing back. The greenery and beauty of nature is coming back. So this is the northeast of England, and over there, just, you can't see it because it's a bit too far. Over there, there'd be sort of that way, that direction, like Denmark and all the Scandinavian countries. So yeah, the jet stream keeps the UK pretty warm, so countries over that way will be colder at the moment because they're on the continent. So we've got this warm southerly wind at the moment in the UK, although it's a bit cold with that offshore breeze or onshore breeze. It's a little, in the summer something like this will warm up, and then by about this time, so in the early afternoon, you'll be able to go for a little swim. But I'm not gonna go for a swim today because it's too cold for me anyway. If I brought a towel, and yeah, probably not. Beautiful, isn't it, the sand here? So there's big sand dunes along here. Although they're being weathered back, I've noticed in the last few years, they're being weathered back quite quickly. So along the coast in the UK, they still have these remnants from the Second World War, where they built a lot of concrete to stop, well, you know history, to stop bad people apparently, and the good people saved us. But these remnants here of concrete. You know, a lot of these remains here on the coast of UK. They're, as the dunes are wearing back, they're becoming visible. So there's history right there. History of war. But I, on this channel, I'm spreading history, hopefully a feature, and therefore a history of peaks. And I think that's through the bike. So I hope this motivates you to want to get on the bike and go on an adventure. Because the opportunity that my bike has given me today to do this, because I'm fit through using the bike. So I didn't drive here, I didn't need to drive here. Sit in my car, not getting fit, burning oil. What you want to do is burn fat and not oil. And that means cycling, burning fat, always being lean. So I'm always lean, and that's because of the diet that I eat. So this morning, well, I'm always the same height, but my weight changes. So I was 5'11", and I was about 63.8, 63.9, and that's because of the foods I eat allow me to stay lean. So like and subscribe if you want to lose some weight and look lean like I am. But I hope this video perhaps motivates you to want to get a bike, get fit, lose weight, stop using the car as much. If we cycle more, our life quality gets better. I wouldn't be able to do something like this if I didn't have a lifestyle that was like this. You know, this is living right here, right now, isn't it? Memories. These are memories that you make, not sitting in your car and driving. I remember the whole day today, whereas if I was in a car and I drove here, all I remember was the moment that I was here. Whereas because I've cycled here, it's the whole day is the adventure. And you don't need to go jetting off to the other side of the world to have a story to tell people who are boring about your adventures. Just live as many days as you can, as every day is the adventure. As I see it, it's the adventure of a lifetime. Isn't it? Why not? Why not? Anyway, I think I need to head off because I need to get back. Otherwise it'll get dark and I'll be stuck. So I don't know whether I'll show you any more of my ride. I might just see you again at the end of the ride, just to show that how far I went and how long it took and everything. But see some wispy clouds up there. Look at that. They're like sandbanks of the sky, aren't they? We've got sandbanks here on the beach and the sandbanks in the sky of cloud. So you can see here the concrete is appearing at the sand to protect us from the bad guys. So yeah, I'll probably just see you again at the end, just to show that how long I did, how far I went, and to show you that it's cheap and easy to fuel, and if you get it right, you'll enjoy riding your bike so much more, and you might actually want to make it a larger part of your life. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, like and subscribe. I've got plenty of other videos talking about how the science behind the fueling, what I eat, and this lifestyle. So this is the Williams lifestyle. losing weight, staying lean, riding your bike, saving money, saving the environment. These are all good things. And we need them more, don't we? I think, at the moment. Definitely. Peace, happiness and love. And that comes about through changing our behaviour. So I'm almost back, got about an hour or so left. But I just stopped. See if you can hear all of the birds and see all the birds around me. I think they're gulls. But I hope you can see them. It's like this cacophony of them. I don't think I've ever seen that many in one place. Before they were flying over like this, it was this incredible noise. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 3,000 or so. But yeah, it's only yeah. Ooh, still mosquito. Yeah, coming up towards the end of the ride, and I still feel good. I hope you can tell by I feel still pretty fresh. I've averaged about 200 watts, and yeah, just gonna take the hours. Well, not easy because I feel so good. So I'll just keep riding as hard as I have been. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that many birds at once. Can you hear them? I'm not sure what type of gull it is. It's a gull, not a seagull. There's no such thing as a seagull. Yeah. I'll show you exactly what I did when I get back. It'll probably be dark when I get back, so I better get going. Well, there it is, 100 miles. You probably see the sun setting there behind me. So you can see there, I'm on my Garmin. About 100 miles. And yeah, fueling on how I showed you. Sugar water, and sugary sweets. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe to improve your performance, or lose weight, or just enjoy riding the bike. And I hope this motivated you, because you don't need to spend lots of money on nutrition if you do it the right way, and then it'll improve your enjoyment, your daily enjoyment, and therefore your life quality. Everything that makes you feel better, that doesn't destroy the planet or harm animals, is improving your life quality. Okay, so hope you enjoyed. I'll have more videos coming. I think I've got a challenge coming up. Challenge myself. Okay, so stick around for that. A fitness challenge. We'll see if we can do that. And yeah, hope you can hear the birds doing their calls before they do these songs before the sun goes down. Hear them singing. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. If you're wondering how many watts, about 200 watts.